Hello, and welcome back to Cambridge Institute's video series. Today we're going to talk about a favorite topic for English learners, false friends. First of all, let's start with a little bit of technical information about false friends. But before we talk about false friends, we're going to talk about real or true friends, which are called cognates. Cognates are words that share the same root or origin, and in many instances mean the same or almost the same in more than one language. Let's look at a few of these now. In English, we have the word actor. In Spanish, actor. English, hospital. Spanish, hospital. In English, family. Spanish, familia. English, natural. And in Spanish, natural. So, as you can see, there are many words that are similar both in form and in meaning. Now, we'll turn our attention to what we call false cognates, or more commonly called false friends. False friends are those pesky stumbling blocks that make learners' lives difficult because they are so similar to their native language, yet false friends have meanings that are quite different from one language to another. Instead of just presenting the most common false friends, I'm going to give a few of the ones that have multiple meanings or extremely different meanings. For example, in English, complexion. Spanish, complexión. In English, we have suburbs. In Spanish, suburbios. In English, sympathetic. Spanish, simpático. In English, we have topic. And in Spanish, tópico. And finally, in English, we have cosmopolitan. And in Spanish, cosmopolita. Complexion in English only refers to skin color, hue, or clarity. Someone who has a clear complexion is a person with very healthy-looking, unblemished skin, whereas in Spanish it is used to refer to body type, or what we would call build in English. John has a slender build means that John is slender. Suburbs in English are very desirable and generally affluent residential areas, located on the outskirts of a large metropolitan area. In Spanish, the word suburbios is very negatively charged and denotes an underdeveloped, poor neighborhood, something that in English would be called a slum. Topic in English is synonymous with subject, especially when used in verbal communication, as in, the topic of today's discussion is. However, in Spanish, the meaning for tópico is closer to stereotype. In Spanish, simpático means friendly or nice, and in English, sympathetic means feeling or exhibiting compassion for the distress of someone suffering. And finally, to wrap up this session, the wonderful word cosmopolitan. The first thing that pops up into everyone's mind is the famous cocktail by the same name, the Cosmopolitan. In Spanish, this word is more similar to multicultural or diverse, while in English, at most, it would mean worldly. So there you have it. 5 words that are at first glance very similar, but yet very different for speakers of their respective languages. That's all for this topic. Now I'm off to the suburbs to have a cosmopolitan.